गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। अनादिमत परम ब्रह्म न सत्तन्ना सदुच्यते ज्ञेयम यत्तत् प्रवक्ष्यामि. I shall tell you that which is worthy of knowing, and it is the Anadimat Parabrahma, that supreme absolute reality which is beyond the scope of any limitation. Adi, beginning, is with reference to the time and the space. Like, if you take this object, now this object is not eternally existing, it was created at particular time. And then this object has got beginning from this end and it ends the other end. So, everything in this world has the limitation, beginning and end with reference to the time and space. So, Anadimat, that means that which is beyond the limitations of any conditioning, that Parabrahma cannot be spoken of as is or is not, because it is not the objective knowledge. Up to here we have seen. Now, Sat Shabda Pratyaya Avishayatvan Asatva Ashankayam Jneyasya Sarva Prani Karana Upadhi Dvarena Tad Astitvam Pratipadayan Tad Ashanka Nivrutyartham Aha. Now, when it is said that this Parabrahma Paramatma cannot be even said to have existence or no existence, one may mistake that this reality is asatva, non-existing, because that which is utterly non-existing also can be said, that we can't call it whether it is or it is not. Therefore, sarva prani karana upadhi dvarena tad astitvam pratipadayan. Therefore, the existence of this absolute reality is indicated with reference to the conditioning which are known to establish that something is existing or not. And therefore, in the 13th verse, Bhagavan says, Sarvata panipadam tata Sarvatokshishiro mukham Sarvata shruti malloke Sarvamavrutya tishtati. Sarvataha panipadam, sarvataha panayaha padacha asyeti, sarvataha panipadam tajneyam. So this Brahma is that when sarvataha, behind every leg and every hand, it is the same reality. So sarvataha panipadam, you should not imagine that it is such a funny creature. Everywhere, the appendages are coming out. What is happening? Brahman. So it is not like a centipede which has got many legs coming from every corner of the body. In the same manner, Brahman is not only having legs but also hands. That is not the meaning. Sarvataha panipadam tat means sarva prani karana upadhibihi kshetrajna astitva vibhavyate. That means, what can you see in this world? We can see the conditionings of the various beings. Very good. Now, all these conditionings of the varying beings are supported by that what is called as the Parabrahma. So, in this manner, it is the Tatastha Lakshanena, by the indirect reference the truth is revealed. So, Sarva Prani Karana Upadhibihi Kshetrajna Astitvam Vibhavyate. Now, Kshetrajnaha cha Kshetra Upadhitaha Uchyate. And this Kshetrajna is what? The one who is conditioned by the conditioning. Kshetram cha panipadadibihi anekada bhinnam. And Kshetrajna is one, and the conditioning of the legs and hands, they are million. Therefore, Kshetra Upadi Bheda Krutam Vishesha Jatam Mithya Eva. And that is why all the expressions, because of the manyness of the conditionings, resulting into the multiplicity, is Mithya. Kshetrajnasya eva tat apanayena jneyatvam uktam. Na sat na asat uchyate. And therefore, what is meant is, when we are able to discard all the conditionings of the reality, we come to know that behind the total multiplicity there is but one reality. And for that purpose, this is the Karana Brahma is indicated. Now, to make this point clear, Bhagwan Shankaracharya gives an explanation. Upadhikrutam mithyarupam api astitva adhigamaya jneya dharmavat parikalpyate parikalpya uchyate sarvataha panipadam ityadi. Although this Parabrahma Paramatma is without any conditioning, even then upadhikrutam mithyarupam api, and all the conditionings are only imagined, they are only superimposed. Even then, astitva adhigamaya, for recognizing the presence of this reality, jneya dharmavat parikalpya, it is imagined as if the Parabrahma has got the heads and the legs and the noses and the eyes, etc. And therefore, sarvataha panipadam ityadi uchyate. Now, why this is said? Tathahi sampradaya vidam vachanam. Because the tradition where this truth is revealed, what they say, adhyaropa apavadhyabhyam nishprapancham prapanchate iti. By the technique of superimposition and desuperimposition, that which cannot be indicated is shown. Nishprapancham prapanchate. Therefore, Nishprapancha is the absolute. So prapanchate is indicated through the prapancha. So what it means? The unknown is known through the medium of the known. Like the example which I have been giving. When you do not know somebody, so how an unknown person is first time introduced? He is Mr. Gupta. The Gupta is a common noun. What it means? He is Gupta. This is only name. No. He is the son-in-law of the ex-prime minister. Oh, so ex-prime minister, you know, yes. So his son-in-law. So immediately some kind of reference is there and that person is recognized. In the same manner, we all know the conditionings. The ear, head, hands, legs, etc. No, that which is supporting the existence of the ears, etc., is the Parabrahma. So what is done? First of all, the superimposition of the conditioning is accepted, and then when you go to the substratum, the superimposed disappears and the truth is revealed. So sarvatra sarva deha avayavatvena gamyamana पाणीपादादयोः ज्ञेय शक्ति सद्भाव निमित्त स्वकार्या इति ज्ञेय सद्भावे लिंगानि ज्ञेयस्य इति उपचारतः उच्यन्ते. Therefore, for all the bodies, the various instruments and their functioning is possible only because of the power given by this absolute reality, and therefore these are all the expression of this absolute reality, and therefore they will be called as if attributes of that reality. It is something like this, When electrical energy functions through the bulb, electricity does not have light. See? But then we will say, if there is light in the bulb, electricity is. So what we call then, for our understanding, that light is the dharma of electricity. Because we are not able to appreciate the electrical energy independent of the conditioning. In the same manner, this absolute reality which was indicated na sat na asad uchyate cannot be comprehended easily, and therefore these conditioning superimpositions are accepted. So, tatha vyakheyam anyat, and the same thing should be applied everywhere. What is that? Sarvataha panipadam tad neyam. So that which has got hands and legs and mouth, sarvatokshi shiro mukham, sarvatra akshini shiramsi mukhani cha yasya tat sarvatokshi shiro mukham, sarvataha shrutimad, shruti shravanindriyam, tad yasya tat shrutimad loke, prani nikaye sarvam avrutya samvyapya tishtati sthitim labate. So, in this manner, all the instrument through which, now be very attentive, all the instrument through which we cognize the existence of anything in this world, all these instruments are supported by that one reality, and therefore this reality cannot be the means of knowing the substratum. In this manner alone we can know. This is how adhyaropa apavadhyabhyam nishprapancham prapanchate. The unknown is indicated through the reference of the known. So, sarvam avrutya tishtati. Now, sarvam avrutya tishtati means what? Means everything is existing because of this reality. So, this reality which we have referred as na sat na asad uchyate is the one which is giving existence to the illusions, which is giving existence to the superimposed. This is how first superimposition and then desuperimposition. Because superimposition cannot be on the non-existing thing. So for every illusion there is a substratum and there is superimposition. So by this technique, that which is difficult to indicate is indicated. This is how this can be understood as the Sopadhika Brahma. So by the Sopadhika Brahma alone we can attain oneness with the Nirupadhika Brahma. Now Upadhibhuta Panipadadi Indriya Adhyaropanad Neyasya Tadvatta Ashanka Mabhut Iti Evam Artha Shlokarambha. Now when it is said Sarvataha Panipadam Ta Sarvatokshi Shiromukam, one should not have this mistaken understanding that Brahman is that which has got legs and hands and heads and noses. And therefore, in the 14th verse, the teacher says, Sarvendriya Gunabhasam Sarvendriya Vivarjitam Asaktam Sarvabhruchaiva Nirgunam Gunabhoktrucha. Sarvendriya Gunabhasam Sarvani Chatani Indriyani Shrutradiri Buddhi Indriya Karmendriya Khyani Antakaranecha Buddhi Manasi Dneya Upadhi Tvasya Tulyatva Sarvendriya Grahonena Gruyante. So Sarvendriya means all the sense organs of actions which are situated in the Antakaran, in the Manomaya Kosh and the Vijnanamaya Kosh. Therefore, Buddhi Manasi, all of them are contained in this. Therefore, Sarvendriya Gunabhasam. So, Buddhi Manasi Dneya Upadhitvasya Tulyatvad Sarvendriya Grahonena Gruyante. Then apicha antakarna upadhi dvarena eva shotradinam api upadhitvam. And it is because of this antakaran alone that the various faculties are able to function. Therefore, antakarna upadhi dvarena, by the conditioning of the antakaran alone, shrotradinam api upadhitvam. And therefore the senses also are the conditioning. Now, ataha Antakarana, Bahishkarana, Upadi Bhutaihi, Sarvendriyaihi. So this is how that Sarvendriya is mentioned here. So Sarvendriya therefore means what? Both the Antakaran and Bahikaran. Ataha Antakarana, Bahishkarana, Upadi Bhutaihi, Sarvendriya Gudaihi, Adhyavasaya, Sankalpa, Shravana, Vajanadivi, Avabhasati iti, Sarvendriya Gunabhasam, Sarvendriya Vyaparaihi, Vyaprutam Iva, Tajneyam Ityartaha. So what is meant by this? That Sarvendriya Gunabhasaihi, Guna Abhas is the functioning of all these faculties, such as the Adhyavasaya, Sankalpa, Buddhi's functioning is decision, mind's function is Sankalpa Vikalpa, Dhanendriya is Shravana, etc., Karmendriya is speaking, etc. So by all these, Guna Bhasahi Avabhasate. And this is how this truth is revealed as the functioning of all these faculties. So, in the 13th verse, what was mentioned was Sarvamavrutya Tishtati, gives existence to everything. Now here in the 14th verse, gives the functional ability to everything, because existence is Sat and functional ability is Chit. And in this manner, it is the same Parabrahma Paramatma, which cannot be spoken of by any language, is the one who awards the functioning ability to all this. So, Sarvendriya Vyaparaihi Vyaprutam Iva, and as if he is functioning through them, Tajneyam, that is what is called as Neyam, worthy of knowing Parabrahma Paramatma. And therefore, Upanishad also says, Dhyayati Iva Lelayati Iva, as if the Paramatma is doing meditation, as if he is walking or moving. That means actually there is no movement, there is no change, but it appears as if because of the conditioning. Kasmat punaha karanat na vyaprutam eva iti gruyate iti aha. Now, what is the reason that this Paramatma should not be accepted as associated with all the functioning and activity of the conditioning? Because Sarvendri Vivarjitam. There is no conditioning in the Parabrahma which can condition for its existence. It is something like this, I am able to see because of the eyes. So, the eyes are important. Okay. The eyes are able to see because of my presence. So, I am important. Good. Now, can the eyes function if I am not there? No. Second thing, if the eyes are blind, do I stop existing? No. So between these two, who is more important? It is the eye. In the same manner, all the functioning of the various faculties is awarded by this conscious reality. But if they are not there, Sarvendriya Vivarjitam, if they are not there, that doesn't mean that consciousness ceases to exist being conscious. And therefore, Sarvendriya Vivarjitam, Sarva Karuna Rahitam Ityartaha, and therefore, the conscious reality does not have any function of seeing, doing, taking, thinking, walking, speaking, etc. Ityartaha, ataha na karna vyaparehi vyaprutam tajneyam, and therefore, this Neyam Parabrahma Vastu is not associated with the conditioning or functioning of the various instruments. Yaha tu ayam mantraha, and therefore it is said in Shvetashadar Upanishad, apani pado javano grahita pasyatya chakshusha shrunotya karnaha. So he is without the legs and the hands and extremely fast, and grahita prasyati achakshuhu, and he is seeing without the eyes, shrunoti akarnaha, he hears without the ears, etc. Ityadi. Saha sarva indriya upadhi guna anugunya bhajana shaktimat tajneyam iti evam pradarsanartho natu sakshat eva javanadi kriya vatva pradarsanartham. Therefore, by this mantra what is said, that all the functioning of the various faculties is because of this reality, It is not meant to indicate that because of this various faculty, this Parabrahma is becoming alive or becoming functional. For that it is said. Similarly, there is one Andho Mani Mavindataha Ityadi Mantrarthavat Tasya Mantrasya. Now, this particular Andaha Manim Avindata, by this mantra, what is meant is that if a diamond is given to a blind person, it has no meaning. In the same manner, all these faculties, Jnanendriya, Karmendriya, Mana, Buddhi, Chitti, they are meaningless for this absolute reality because he is not incomplete from any point of view. There is nothing that is desired, known, etc. Yasmad sarva karana varjitam dneyam tasmad asaktam sarva samshlesha varjitam. And because this absolute reality is sarva karana varjitam, free from the limitation of all faculties, and therefore asaktam sarva samshlesha varjitam, is never attached to anything because it cannot have any relationship with anything. Relationship is always possible between the two finite, but there is only one absolute, therefore there cannot be relationship. Yadyapi evam tathapi sarva bhrutcha eva. And although this is so, yet it is this Parabrahma Dneya Vastu alone which is supporting everything in this world. Sadaspadam hi sarvam sarvatra sadbuddhi anugamat. Because everything is recognized in this world as existing. Not even the non-existence is recognized as existing. Therefore, sadaspadam hi sarvam sarvatra. Sad aspadam. So everything is recognized as existing because sad buddhi anugamat. Because everything is buddhi knowledge. Knowledge of everything is that this is. Nahi mruga trushtika dayaha api niraspadaha bhavanti. Even the mirage water also is not recognized as non-existing. Even that is recognized as existing. Ataha sarva bhrut sarvam vibharti iti. Therefore, sarva bhrut chaiva nirgunam guna bhoktrucha. So, Syat idam cha anyad neyasya sattva adhigama dvaram nirguna sattva rajastamasi gunaha taihi varjitam. And therefore, this is the second aspect of this indicating this Brahman which is other than the existence and non-existence. Idam anyad neyasya sattva adhigama dvaram. For recognizing the presence of this reality is nirgunam sattva rajastamasi gunaha. These are the three gunas, sattva, rajas, tamas, and taihi varjitam. So that which is beyond the limitations of these three gunas, that is called as the Parabrahma Dneyam. Tathapi guna bhoktru. Although it is beyond the three gunas, yet these three gunas cannot exist without them, and it is he alone who gives the faculty, their capacity to experience. Therefore, Gunanam sattva rajas tamam shabdadi dvarena sukha dukkha moha kara parinamatana bhoktru cha upalabdhru tad neyam ityartaha. And therefore, everything in this world is experienced by the gunas, but these gunas draw their faculty, capacity, ability to experience bhoga, etc. It is because of this absolute. And therefore, although beyond the gunas gives the ability to gunas to experience bhoktrutva, etc. Continuing further, bahirantascha bhutanam acharam charamevacha sukshmatva tadavijneyam Durastham chantike chatata. Bahihi antascha bhutanam. Now here see the definition of bahi, out and in, is given by Bhagavan Shankara. Bahihi tvak paryantam deham atmatvena avidya kalpitam apeksha tam eva avadhim kritva bahihi uchyate. Through the ignorance we have accepted the body up to the limit of the skin as I. And with reference to this limiting factor of the contour line of the body called as the skin, something which is called as out, which is beyond this, and that which is beyond inside the skin is called as inside. Therefore, in and out is only kalpana matra. These are all imagination, depending upon which is the conditioning you are giving importance to. Now see, take these few examples. This chocolate is inside my pocket, and let us take book is outside. So even if I don't mention the word pocket, it will very clearly be known to us. Where is the chocolate? Inside. Where is the book? Outside. So inside, outside of what? So when our attention is on the conditioning, the imagination of in and out is born. Similarly, the book is inside the hall. Just now you said it is outside. Now it has become inside. And the tree is outside the hall. So now where is our attention? On the walls of this hall. Now if this point is clear, and now if you remember the meditation that we have told you, that when you sit quiet and slowly relax the total body, the mind drops the shape and the size of the body. When the mind drops the shape and size of the body, now mind is no more conditioned by the shape and size of the body, and therefore the concept of in and out is over. And when the concept of in and out is over, you go to the third degree. What is that? Akalpita mahavideha dharana. You go beyond that. Because in that akalpita mahavideha dharana, what is the thing? That the mind is outside the body and from there it is functioning. But outside, inside concept is maintained. And what is the kalpita dharana? When the mind considers itself to be inside the body but functioning from outside. But this in and out is maintaining the conditioning of body as the real one. And that is why all these things are extremely subtle. When you go deeper and deeper, then you will understand all this yoga abhyas and sankalpa, vikalpa, and then your siddhis, they have zero value, zero meaning. Provided you are able to follow this very sukshma, very subtly, step by step. Now, bahihi tvak paryantam deham atmatvena avidya kalpitam apeksha. Tam evam avadhim krutva bahi uchyate. Tatha pratyagaatmanam apeksha deham eva avadhim krutva antaha uchyate. So keeping the body as a reference point, something is called as out or in. Bahihi anta cha iti ukte madhye abhave prapti idam uchyate. So when it is said bahirantascha bhutanam, so the Paramatma or the Parabrahma, which is worthy of knowing, is in and out of the everything. Vahirantascha bhutanam. So one should not mistake that in between the Parabrahma is not there. It is outside and inside. So, idam uchyate. Therefore it is said, acharam charam evacha yat characharam deha bhasam tadapi eva dneyam yatha rajju sarpa bhasaha. Now it is something like this, The book inside and the tree outside. What has created this in and out? The walls of the hall. Now, the inside space and outside space we have understood. But these walls which are creating the illusion of inside outside, where are these walls? These walls are also in the space. See? Therefore, space is a continuous thing. So, in the space, there is nothing like ghatakash, mathakash. There is nothing like in and out. In the same manner, This Parabrahma Paramatma, with reference to the conditioning, is called as in and out. But from the reality point of view, there is nothing like in and out. Because the conditioning which create the in and out, they are also the same Paramatma. Because they are also existing. This is what is said, Bahihi anta iti cha ukte madhye abhave prapte. So one may mistake that in between there is absence of the reality. Therefore, acharam charam evacha yat characharam deha bhasam tat apidneyam yatha rajju sarpa bhasaha. So that which is creating the illusion of in and out, those conditionings are also appearance on this absolute reality, like the snake appears on the rope, etc. Therefore, all the conditionings are only illusion. And when this is known, the truth is revealed. Yadi acharam chara evacha vyavahar vishayam sarvam neyam kimartham idam iti sarvaihi na vidneyam iti uchyate. Now, if everything is this Paramatma, 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 yadi acharam charam evacha vyavahar vishayam sarvam neyam. If everything is Paramatma, kimartham idam sarvaihi na vidneyam. Why everybody is not able to recognize this Paramatma? What is the reason? Therefore, uchyate. Satyam. Sarvabhasam tat tathapi vyomavat sukshmam ataha sukshmatvad svena rupena tajneyam api avidneyam avidusham. This is the reason is because it is so subtle, like the vyomavat, like the space. See, probably in the 6th or 7th chapter of Panchadashi, somewhere I don't remember exact reference, there we talk about the Mathakash, Ghatakash and Jalakash. 3 spaces. Mathakash, the total space we can understand. Ghatakash, the space in the pot that we understand. Jalakash, space in the water. So what is the space in the water? Then, when I was explaining, one person could not catch it. I said, okay. Do you see this particular object reflected in that water? Yes. Now, where that reflection is existing? In the water. Can that reflection exist in the solid water? Or for that also you require a space? You require a space. So, this outer space is reflected in the water. And in the reflection of the outer space is contained the reflection of your face. Acha, it is like that. It is like that. So here also, sarvabhasam tat tathapi vyomavat sukshmam. Although this absolute reality is everywhere present all the time, it is so subtle, vyomavat, like the space. Now see, we have prayers for sun, for moon, today for Ganapati, for the air, Shanno Mitra Shamvarunaha, Shanno Bhavatvaryama, for everybody we have got prayers. Do we have a prayer for space? See, there is not a single prayer for the space because it is all the time available. Like Paramatma. And that is the reason the only one alamban support can come somewhere near the space, near the Paramatma, and that is Akashavat. All other examples fail. And the space also is not the ultimate example. Because space is supported by the mind. And the mind is supported by the reality. And the space is abhavatmak. And the Paramatma is not abhavatmak. And therefore, what is understood, like the space is supporting everything, yet space is never respected or thought over. Now see another thing. The other day I went to see somebody's house, new house being purchased. So Swamiji, this is the thing, this is that Italian marble, and we have done a special kind of plastering, and this is a special paint, and everything he was explaining. So I was listening, and how do you like? I asked him, how much money you have spent on this? Oh, Swamiji, it has gone more than 1.5 crores. I said, where you will be staying now, tell me. Are you staying in the walls? No. Are you staying in the windows? No. You are staying in the space. And how much money you have spent on the space? Swamiji, don't bring that your Vedanta. No, you just tell me how is the house. See how important it is. Where we live is not the walls and the windows and the doors. We live in the space, but that space is never recognized in the same manner. That absolute reality which is giving existence to everything, that alone is not recognized. Sukshmatvat. And therefore, the ignorant people are not able to see that. In Kathopanishad we have seen, Esha sarveshu bhuteshu gudhotma na prakashate. This Paramatma is everywhere, na prakashate. Then, drishyate tu agreya buddhya sukshmaya sukshmadarshibhi. But those who have that sukshmata, they alone can know this truth. So, satyam sarvabhasam is present everywhere. Tathapi vyomavat sukshmam ataha sukshmatvad svena rupena taj jneyam api avidneyam. Now see how it is. Do we require any authority or support or reference to understand our own conscious existence? No. You don't require. That is the truth. Okay, then everything is over now. All the studies, all the scriptures, all the sadhana, all the yoga abhyas is over. If this one statement is experience. See, this is what Nisargadatta Maharaj, he was hardly with his guru. And he had only one beautiful argument. And he was also not his guru as it is. He went to listen to Satsang with his friend. And when he heard that Parabrahma Paramatma alone is real, and that is our essential nature, all others are illusion. Then he came and he said, why that Mahatma will tell lies? First. Second thing, by telling that everything including me is Parabrahma Paramatma, he is not deceiving me, and by deceiving me he is not getting benefit. So it must be so. See the line of thinking. And as a result, he had no doubt. And within a very short period, he was established in this truth. Not much of sadhana. Why? Because he was able to sukshmatvat. He was having the understanding so subtle that he was able to catch the point instantaneously. So, sukshmatvat svena rupena tajneyam api avidneyam avidusham. Therefore, although it is known, it is unknown to the ignorant people. Now, vidusham tu atmai vedam sarvam, brahmai vedam sarvam ityadi pramanataha nityam vidnyatam. But those who are the wise people, for them, this is always available. Therefore, Atma eva idam sarvam vidusham tu. For the wise people, everything is Paramatma. Therefore, yasmin sarvani bhutani atmaiva bhut vijanataha tasya ko moha kashokaha ekatva anupashyata. Similarly, brahmai vedam sarvam ityadi pramanataha nityam vidnyatam. So for the wise people, this is not avidneyam. It is always there. And durastham janti kechatat. Now this is very beautifully explained. Avidnyatataya durastham varsha sahasra kotyapi. See, for the ignorant, this Parabrahma Paramatma will remain far away for millions and millions and trillions of lives. How simple it is. Now just if you take this in the right spirit, then you will understand how that you go to the Chaturdasha Bhuvana and then you have gone here, you have gone there. These are all the hallucinations of the mind. In that absolute reality, all these things have no meaning. Because Ekameva Advitiya, that I has disappeared, only the truth. And when you take this relative standpoint, we'll see in our Shvetashvatara Upanishad, the attainment through knowledge and attainment through meditation is of different kind. Attainment through knowledge is now and here, na tasya prana utkramanti. And attainment through dhyana yoga is you get the Aishwarya, you have got all the powers, you have got all the siddhis with you, you enjoy them, but keep yourself separate from everybody. Because that I is not released. Therefore, these are the two paths. One is the path of knowledge that we are talking about here, and the second is the path of dhyana, where Prakriti and I is given more importance. And they are falling in the purview of ignorance. Therefore, as much karma, upasana falls in the purview of ignorance, so much yoga abhyas also falls in the purview of ignorance. Hey Krishna, avidnyatataya durastam varsha sahasro kotyapi avidusham aprapyatvat. Because they can never attain. And then for them, they are told, see, you have to do sadhana for millions of years. Bhagavad Gita also tells us, what is that? Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavan mam prapadyate. After many, many lives, whose lives? See? Bahunam janmanam ante. This is valid only when that ego is considered as a real thing. In our 13th chapter only. Kshetrajna are not many, is only but one. Therefore, antikecha tad atmavida atmatvad vidusham. And the same Paramatma is very near to those who know. Therefore, bahirantascha bhutanam acharam charamevacha sukshmatvat tat avidneyam durastham chantikecha tad. Now this Paramatma, we are unable to form any concept, understand, because anything you take, it is destroyed. Therefore, in the 16th verse, he creates more confusion. Avibhaktam cha bhuteshu vibhaktamiva cha sthitam bhuta bhartru cha tajneyam grasishnu prabhavishnu cha avibhaktam cha pratideham vyomavat tad ekam. Now see, per head one purusha, because there are many heads, many purushas. And here what is said, avibhaktam pratideham vyomavat. Like the space is one. If there are 10 pots, that doesn't mean that the space has become 10 times. It is one common space. In the same manner, this conscious reality is undivided. And therefore, there are many jivas, many souls, many purushas. The proposition of the Sankhyas is unacceptable. We have to be very, very clear about it. Avibhaktam cha pratideham vyomavat tad ekam bhuteshu sarva praneshu vibhaktam iva cha sthitam. Iva, that is most important. As if it is divided. Like the space appears to be divided. And you'll see that anything which is infinite, in the infinite, divisions are only imaginary. They are not real. Like, start from the grossest, earth. Now on the earth, globe, These lines which are dividing the whole globe into parts, they are not there. Similarly, you take the various oceans. This is called Atlantic Ocean, that is called Atlantic Ocean. They have no meaning, they are just imaginary lines. Similarly, if you take our India itself. Now, India's map at the time of Mahabharata was different. Now it is different and we do not know. It may be called as one of the states of United States. Who knows? Anything, when Alaska can go in the United States of America, when Honolulu can go, there will not be a surprise that the whole world should be called as USA. It can happen. So all these are only imaginations. Therefore, avibhaktancha pratideham vyomavat tat ekam bhuteshu sarva pranishu vibhaktam iva chastitam. As if it is divided. Deshu eva vibhavyamanatvad. Because our attention is on that body and that is recognized in the body. Therefore we imagine. Now, bhuta bhartrucha bhutani vibharti iti tajneyam cha sthiti kale. So when all these things are existing, where are they existing? They are existing in this reality. So this reality alone is supporting everything. And pralaya kale grasishnu grasanashiram. And when everything is dissolved, where does it go? It goes back to the same reality. So utpatti kale prabhavishnucha prabhavanashilam. And where from everything comes in this world comes from the same reality. Therefore it is out of the same absolute reality that the imagination and the effects of the imagination, everything is out of the same reality. It is something like, from the water's point of view, there is nothing like ocean, waves, etc., etc. But then the question goes, where from they have come? They have come from the water. So it is only the standpoint we have to understand. There are three standpoints. First standpoint is wave versus wave, samsara. Second standpoint, wave versus ocean, sadhana. Third standpoint, ocean versus wave, siddha purushas, blessing the whole world. All the vibhutis are discovered. And the last standpoint, from the water's point of view, what is the position of the waves and the ocean? So what here is spoken is about water standpoint. Therefore, bhuta bhartuja tajneyam grasishnu prabhavishnucha kimcha sarvatra vidyamanam sat na upalabhyate ched deyam tamahatarri. See, because this Parabrahma, Paramatma, you say available everywhere, and yet it is not available to everybody, could be because it is darkness, because darkness is also not seen. And therefore, the teacher says, Jyotishamapi tajyotihi tamasa paramuchyate jnanam jneyam jnanagamyam hrudi sarvasya vishthitam. Jyotisham adityanam api tajneyam jyotihi. So this Neya Vastu, this Parabrahma Paramatma is the light of the sun, etc. Jyotisham api tajyotihi. Because Atma Chaitanya Jyotisha Iddhani hi Adityadini Jyotishi Deepyante. It is because of the light of consciousness that all the stars and moons and suns are illumined. It is something like this. This is difficult for us to comprehend because we read without giving up the identification with the body. Therefore it happens. Now take examples. This object I am illuminating with my eyes. Because this object is less illumined and my eyes have got more power of illumination. Good. If this object was having tremendous light, my eyes will not be able to illuminate them. If this example is clear, now second thing. The sun is illumined by what? By my eyes. If I sleep in the afternoon, whatever may be the brightness of the sun and the sunlight, it has no existence. So, such a bright sun and the sunlight is illumined by my eyes. Therefore, how much more powerful and brighter my eyes must be? Yes. We go further. The eyes are illumined by the light of mind. If there is no mind behind the eyes have no functioning. So all the andatva, mandatva, padutva, all the defects, modification, vikar of the eyes are known by the mind. Therefore, mind is more bright than the eyes. Go further. The mind is illumined by the buddhi, the intellect, adhyavasaya lakshana. So the light of the intellect is more powerful than that of the mind. And the buddhi is bathing in the light of consciousness. So the light of consciousness is more powerful than the buddhi. And if the light of consciousness is so powerful, how much more powerful the consciousness must be. And therefore, this consciousness is not opposed to anything. Now, what is the greatness of this consciousness? All other lights illuminate everything except the darkness. Because all lights are illuminating in relation to something. But this light, divine light, not only illuminates the lights, but also illuminates the darkness. And not only gives existence to the light, but also gives existence to the darkness. And therefore, tamasaha paramuchyate. See? To understand this, take our Kyono mantra. Anya devatad vididat atha avididat adhi. The waking and the dream is the light, knowledge, astitva, existence. Deep sleep is ignorance, darkness, absence. And this reality is supporting both the presence, the light of the waking and the dream, and the absence and the darkness of the deep sleep. Therefore, tamasaha paramuchyate. Because it cannot be seen, cannot be known, doesn't mean it is darkness. That is why this is said in this mantra, Jyotisham api tajyoti tamasaha paramuchyate. Because Atma Chaitanya Jyotisham hi idhani hi adityadini jyotishim dipyante. It is only by the light of consciousness alone everything is revealed in this world. Yena suryastapati tat seddha tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati ityadi shrutibhyaha smritehe cha iha eva yadadityagatam tejaha jagat bhasayate khilam yat chandramasi achagni tattejo viddhimamakam. In this manner, this is not the darkness and therefore it cannot be known, but it is tamasaha ajnanat param asprishtam uchyate. It is beyond the ignorance, therefore ignorance cannot touch this reality. Jnanadehe dukkha sampadana buddhya praptau asadasya prapta avasadasya uttambhanartham aha. Now, why Bhagavan says the last portion? Paramuchyate jnanam neyam jnanagamyam hrudi sarvasya vishtitam. When it is said from here that anadi mat param brahma na satanna saduchyate, and then sarvata panipadam tat, and there sarvendriya gunabhasam sarvendriya vivarjitam bahirantascha bhutanam durastham antike chatak avibhaktam cha bhuteshu. When all these things said, it amounts to total cancellation, contradictions and chaos. So one may come to a point, wow, this is not for me. For me it is very nice. I go to the market, buy one Ganesh Ji Puja, Aarti, and then Sukha Karta. It's so nice. Why you struggle? Jyotisham abhitat jyoti tamasa paramuchyate. So one may not get this wrong notion that it is very difficult. And therefore Bhagavan Sri Krishna says, Jnanam amanitvadi. Jneyam yatpat pravakshami ityadina yaduktam tad jneyam. So jnanam jneyam and jnana gamyam. Jneyam eva jnatam. Sad jnana phalam. So the jneyam itself is the goal of our life. And it is gained through the knowledge. That is the amanitva. And therefore it is known as known because it is one's own essential self. Therefore, one should not have that meaning or imagination that it is not for us. So, tad etat trayam api hrudi buddhau sarvasya prani jatisya vishtitam visheshena sthitam tatra evam hi trayam vibhavyate. Therefore, all these three, jnanam, jneyam and jnanagamyam, all these three things are supported, existing in that one reality, and where it is buddhau hrudi sarvasya pranijatasya vishtitam visheshena sthitam. Therefore, we don't have to search outside. Where is Paramatma? Where is Paramatma? Pratibodha viditam matam. Hold on to these original statements from the Upanishad. And see, if you are doing it, it's very good, or else, you keep on doing it. This is the process, unbroken process. Never give any opportunity to your mind to get down, depressed, rejected, dejected. Don't do that. Focus your attention only on this. How every thought takes us away from ourselves. This experiment. Now do this experiment. Suppose you are here, create a thought that I have to go home. Today is Ganesh Chaturthi, and here there is neither Ganesh nor Chaturthi nor Modak. Let me go home. So what is happening? By this thought, I am going away from where I am. So recognize this, that on the vehicle of thought, when we ride, we go away from us. Recognize this. At the moment that thought is stopped, immediately we are with ourselves. Therefore, mano minjrumbhitam sarvam. The whole plurality is born with the vijrumbhitam is yawning. When the mind yawns, the mouth opens. In the same manner, when the mind opens its mouth, the whole world of time, space and object is created. Therefore, hrudi sarvasya vishtitam. Discover how, whether there is mind or no mind, whether there is thought or no thought, whether there is functioning of the organ or no functioning of the organ. In and through all these experiences, there is but one reality which remains untouched, which remains uninvolved. By these two things together, what is happening is the attributeless reality is reached through the agency of the reality with attributes. This is the technique. Because as long as we are conditioned by the body, as long as we are rooted in our wrong notions about Jiva Jagat Ishvara, this will not be digested very easily. So, tad etat trayam api hrudi buddhau sarvasya pranijatasya vishtitam visheshena sthitam tatra eva hi trayam vibhavyate. So, we don't have to search outside anywhere. In our own heart, it is jnanam, the ability to know the truth by amanitva, adambitva ityadina. Jneyam, that is the truth. And jnanagamyam, and you don't have to do any acrobatics. It's only recognition. And anything that is gained through knowledge is never created. Anything that is gained through knowledge was never lost. See? Many times you must have had this thing. Suppose your key is in your own pocket and you go and sing everywhere and you don't get. But somehow your hand doesn't go in your pocket. And suddenly when it goes, hey, I have been searching for this thing, where it was. So it is not created. Therefore, jnana gamyam means this truth is not the result of na karmana na prajaya dhanena tyage naike amritatva manashu. Giving up all the wrong notions. The truth is revealed. Tatra evam hi trayam vibhavyate. Yathokta artha upasamharartha ayam shlokaha arabhyate. Now whatever is said so far, now that is being concluded in the 18th verse before we start the new topic from the 19th verse. What is said? Iti kshetram tatha jnanam neyam choktam samasataha madbhakta etad vijnaya madbhavayopapadyate. And this is the most surprisingly wonderful part of this Bhagavad Gita. 13th chapter is talking so ruthlessly about the absolute reality. Kshetrajnam chavi mam vidhi sarva kshetrishu bharata. All duality is rejected. But when it comes to spiritual practice, Bhagavan says, Mad Bhaktaha. There is some kind of somersault. So, iti kshetram tatha jnanam. Iti evam kshetram. So, what is the kshetram? Mahabhutanyahankaro buddhiravyaktameva cha indriyani dashaikam cha panchachendriya gocharaha. Then, Ichchadvesha sukam dukkham sangatas chetana dhruti. Up to here. This is the kshetram. So, Mahabhutani adi dhrutyantam. So, up to dhruti. So, this 1.5 verse, that is talking about the kshetra. So, uktam samasataha, we have told in short. So, what was that total understanding we have seen? That the karya karana jatam kshetram. So what is the karanatmika prakriti? Ashtadha prakriti. Mahabhutanyahankaro buddhiravyaktamevacha is ashtadha karanatmika prakriti. And thereafter, what is the karyatmika prakriti? Karyatmika prakriti is this. The 11 indriyas, indriyani dashekamcha, and panchachendriya gocharaha, and the 5 objects of experience. Now beyond that there is nothing. So this is what kshetram. Now the second thing, so what this understanding gives us, it gives us that when the body is called as kshetra, idam shariram kaunteya kshetra mitya vidhiyate, and the kshetra means these Mahabhutanyahankaro up to Ichcha, Dvesha, Sukam, Dukkham, Sangatas, Chetana, Dhruti. So all these has to be recognized as kshetra, not in the totality level, but also at the individuality level. So this is kshetra. And it is only an objective understanding. So that knowledge aspect where objectivity is prominent is kshetra. And this kshetra we have seen, what is the kshetra? Kshatatranat, always worried about protection. Then ksharanat, constantly leaking something or the other. And kshetravat, karma phala, like the farmer who sows the seeds and harvests the crop in the same manner. Living in this body, we do the karma and gather the karma phala. Therefore, this body is called as kshetra, and therefore this is not only our body but the total prakriti is kshetra. So, idi kshetram. Then jnanam. Now what is the jnanam? Jnanam start amanitwadi tattva jnanartha darshanam paryantam. So we have seen those 20 points. All these 20 points are called as the jnanam. So these 20 points are the most important spiritual practice for every student of Gita. Because then only he is called as the jnana-nishtha sannyasi. Jnana-nishtha sannyasi doesn't mean he is very well read only. No. A sannyasi has to be very well read. There is no doubt about it. Without the study of the scriptures, only changing the color of the clothes doesn't mean any meaning to the sannyas. And then jnana-nishtha means it is not only the book knowledge or the load of the scriptural study, but this also must be included. Therefore, amanitva, adamitva, ahimsa, kshantirarjavam, acharyopasanam, shaucham, sthairyam, vinigraha, all of them coming up to the last one, tattva jnanartha darshanam. All these 20 things are included in the under the understanding of jnanam. So jnanam iti kshetram tatha jnanam. Then neyam. What was the neyam? Neyam nem yattat ityadi tamasaha paramuchyate iti eva antam uktam samasataha sankseptam. So what is the neya vastu? That was indicated from this verse number 12 onwards. Neyam yattat pravakshami yajñatva amritam uchyate. So anadi mat param brahma na satan na saduchyate. This is attributeless absolute reality. Now, thereafter in the 13th verse, the superimposition is done. Sarvendriya guna sarvata panipadam ta sarvatokshi shiromukham. Then in the 14th verse, the desuperimposition is done. The apavad. And after this desuperimposition is done, then the truth is revealed as the contradiction. It is in and it is out. It is everywhere. It is near, it is away. If you remember our mantras from Ishavasyopanishad, Tade jati tanne jati tad dure tad vadantike tadantarasya sarvasya tadu sarvasyasya bahyataha. See? There is one book, somewhere I have seen, I couldn't read it. In that book, it is proved very beautifully how the 18 shlokas of Ishavasyopanishad are the seeds for the 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. That person has proved it so beautifully. So, the seed of every chapter is from those 18 verses of Ishavasyopanishad. So, Bhahirantascha Bhutanam, in this manner, it was indicated. So, after this was done, then the truth is the one which is undivided because of the division in the conditioning. Now, this thing you can see in our Kathopanishad. Kathopanishad, the mantras come like Chetanas chetananam eko bahunam yo vidadati kaman tamatmastham yenu pashyanti dhira shantim tesham shashvati netaresham. So there also how that one reality remains undivided is said in the 16th verse. And in the 17th verse, the ultimate, it is not only the light of knowledge or consciousness, but it is beyond both the knowledge and the ignorance. Therefore, tamasaha paramuchyate. And after having told this, now do not have the objective understanding. Therefore, jnanam neyam jnanagamyam vrudi sarvasya vishtitam. This can be recognized as one's own essential self, provided you have the jnanam. Amanitva adambitva jnana gamyam. It can be only recognized by the right instrument, neyam, what we have just now told, in the heart of everyone. In this manner, iti kshetram tatha jnanam neyam cha uktam samasataha. So we have told in short all these things. And thereafter, etavan sarvohi vedartho gitartaha cha upasamhritya ukta. Now here, the total subject matter of Bhagavad Gita is concluded here, which also is the Vedartha, the summary of all the Vedas. Etavan sarvohi vedarthaha gitartaha cha upasamhritya uktaha. So everything in summary is said. Asmin samyak darshane kaha adhikriyate iti uchyate. Now who is the one, who is adhikari, who is qualified to get this ultimate knowledge? Mad bhaktaha mai ishvare param gurau vasudeve sarva arpita sarvatma bhavaha yat pashyati shrunoti sprushati va sarvam eva bhagavan vasudeva iti evam graha vishishta buddhi mad bhaktaha. See how the word mad bhaktaha is explained by Bhagavan so beautifully. Mad bhakta means mai ishvare sarvadne param gurau vasudeve. See how many words one after another. In me, who is the all-knower, the supreme Guru, called as Vasudeva, who is the Parameshvara, and he who has samarpita sarvatma bhavaha, and he who has offered, surrendered every aspect of his existence, and yet prashyati shrunoti sprushoti va, so whatever yat karoshi yadasnasi yat juhosi dadasi yat tapashyasi kaunteya tat kurushva madarpanam. So he who has this total samarpan in me, meaning what? Sarvam eva bhagavan vasudeva iti. See? Vasudeva sarvam iti samahatma sudurlabhaha. Such a devotee, evam graha avishta buddhi. So in this manner, he who has this firm conviction that everything is Bhagavan, Paramatma, Vasudeva, Krishna, whatever name you call. So this bhavana is called as the devotion, and the same thing is called as Sayyama in our Patanjali Yoga Darshan. Ultimately it comes to the same. So yaha etad yathoktam samyak darshanam vidnyaya. Now see here what is the bhakta means? Not the one who is only making noise, but yat etag yathoktam samyak darshanam vidnyaya. So he has to know the samyak darshanam. What we are told, kshetram, jnanam, neyam, all these three. So he who knows this thing, etad yathoktam samyak darshanam vidnyaya, having known mad bhavaya, mama bhavaha mad bhavaha, paramatma bhavaha. So mad bhavaya, Paramatma bhavaya tasmai upapadyate means moksham gacchati. Like I am liberated. I function through this world, but the world doesn't have any influence on me. In the same manner, my devotee will function in this world, but the world will have no influence on him. The same thing you can say about a jnani, jivan mukta purush. Because para bhakti and the supreme knowledge, they are not two. But what happens, the moment people talk about knowledge, they get frightened. So the scriptures and Bhagavan has to use this technique. Therefore, mad bhakta, this is good, I like devotion, But what is that mad bhakta? Etad yathoktam samyak darshanam vidnyaya. That is important. So, madbhavaya upapadyate moksham gacchati, attains liberation from I. Because when a devotee is totally surrendered to the Lord, I is dissolved. Through the knowledge, I is inquired and I disappears. The meaning is the same. In this manner, here one topic of the 13th chapter and Bhagavad Gita is over. Now the second topic begins from the 19th verse. What is that? We'll take in our next class. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.